So tell me why now should we care? Queen Bee told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere. Did we build it? Yeah. Do we own it? Yeah. We even in the studios running playback. Shout out to Airman Sally, the young guards, to all the G's like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how we feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Texans going up against the Ravens. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete to open things up. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw again. Finding time. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So incomplete on second. They'll look to throw again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a fourth down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball. They've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw here. This is caught inside the 15. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Let's go! Green 39!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Defense. Still first down.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, it's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll drop to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On first down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
Here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down in bounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Play clock winding down. Back to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And the back goes into motion. The play clock's running down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket, and incomplete.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough third down awaits them.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new South. Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, And it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll set up a throw. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
Come on,
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Here we go.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They'll need to get the play off quickly. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 11 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the record. Watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Let's go. 38.
Time running out here on the play clock. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. Halfback sent in motion. Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. It'll be a gain of 9, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. They go play action here on 1st down. This throw caught right around the 6. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. Touchdown number 8. Point after here coming up. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. Oh, what a move. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Offside, defense. That penalty is declined.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
so much about offense is what you call.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They come out here in the eye. They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. So we've reached halftime here on the thing.
Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty.
Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fighting through. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On play action, they'll throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, a chip shot here. This one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards.
Delay of game, offense. Still 3rd down.
Costly mistake for the offense. They now face 17 yards to go on 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd down following the run.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
A 2nd down carry for Prosite. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Okay, let's do our version of name dropping here. Let's show off a little knowledge, right? The A-gap, the gap between the center and the guard on either side, right? Both sides. Control that, you're going to control an inside running game.
And he had to feel satisfied because he hit that gap, broke the contact. He loves that.
That's the best part, right? That's what he's going to ask the coach to run back on film.
Let me see that one more time.
Show that again, coach. Look how my legs kept churning. I just kept moving, and he did to the tune of a big gain. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Eluding the pressure right, and he maybe makes it back to... the line of scrimmage. That's it.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Beckham, the return. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter play. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Red zone opportunity. This is Process on the carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Here we go.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. They'll look to throw again. Now, they got him for a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And his kick is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. They got the stop last time that resulted in a punt, and then it resulted in 3 for their offense.
And this is one time where the defense won't get credit for creating points, but that's exactly what they did. All right, forced them into a punt, turned it over to their offense, and guess what? Points went on the board.
Points were on the board, 3 of them. Now they'll be looking for another stop. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now a handoff here to his running back. They find some open field here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Extra point forthcoming. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that drives 7 plays in length. And boy, figure this one out. Leading here in the fourth, and now they're going to try an onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
They'll set up to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now. But later, when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He's back to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. You got to feel pretty good as a defense.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver in the final minute. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that? And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for two and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the one and even the score?
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. Flex round. Flex round.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. His throw incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And the back goes into motion. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
Still second down.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long.
Let's go.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And quickly they get to the line. Midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He